In this episode for home buyers, we're going to talk about why right now could be the best time of year for you to buy a home.
This is the Inside Real Estate Show, where we give you the insight behind the information so you can make smart home buying, home selling, and real estate investing decisions. And now your host, author, speaker, broker, and investor, Darin Persinger.
The Cubbies just won the World Series. We're a few days away from the presidential election. We're going to be talking about why this is a good time of year to buy a home, and it has nothing to do with those two events, but more so to do with the fact that the school year has started and why this could be a good time for you to buy a home. We're also going to do the number of the day and do a little bit of housekeeping. So welcome to this episode. This is episode 47. I'm Darin Persinger of Persinger Group Real Estate. Of course, thank you for watching and listening. Congratulations to the Cubbies. Quick story, interesting watching the Cubs in the World Series. I'm originally from Wisconsin, and you'd think that I would be a Brewers fan, and I am more of a Brewers fan than Cubs fan for sure. But a lot of my friends are Cubs fans. I saw a lot of my Facebook feed, old friends cheering for the Cubs. And just a quick thought that popped in my head I was sharing with someone that I think is really interesting on how much the world has changed. Not all of us had cable growing up, but for some reason we would get WGN, which was a Chicago, the local Chicago station. We would get that in Wisconsin. And so we actually got to see the Cubbies play more often than the Brewers on television growing up, and I think that's why a lot of my friends were cheering for the Cubs and became Cubs fans versus White Sox fans or Twins fans or whatever. So congratulations to the Cubs. I know a lot of my friends were cheering for them. So let's get into the number of the day.
What's the number? Stop, stop. What's the number? Stop, stop. What is the number? The number of the day.
33. That's the average age for a first-time homebuyer according to Zillow. 31 is the average age of a first-time homebuyer according to NAR, the National Association of Realtors. So it's interesting that Zillow would have one number and the National Association of Realtors would have a different number, right? Not really that interesting, because Zillow has one set of data points and NAR has another set of data points, even though we're talking about the real estate industry. And that's just another thing to keep in mind when I talk about data and why it's important to go local, to go straight to the source and resource of your local real estate community, because the data is always going to be a little bit skewed at a state level, definitely at a national level, and Zillow isn't getting all of the data. That's why their website sometimes doesn't have the right properties or properties that are already sold. So we can only trust the data that's coming out as much as the data that's going in. So go straight to your local realtor who has the local community data. By the way, if you're going to ask me what the average age of a home buyer is locally, actually I don't know, so that's why I'm giving you those two numbers. All right, let's do a little bit of housekeeping here.
Housekeeping?
This housekeeping makes sense since we're talking about why right now is a good time of year to be buying. So if you're a first-time home buyer, certainly check out my book that I've written. You can go request a free copy of this if you're in our local market area. Just go to homebuyingmadeeasybook.com. Just go to that website, click a button, fill out a form, and we'll ship you this book for free. Now let's get into the main topic. The best time to buy a house could be right now, just after the school year has started. And I got 3 reasons why I believe that is. Number 1, you have to get out of the springtime is the best time to sell a home or buy a home. It's a complete myth. So many home sellers and home buyers think springtime and or summertime is the best time to sell or buy. And that creates an influx of properties on the market, which buyers think is good. But because there's more buyers looking in the springtime, it creates a supply and demand issue. And the same for the buyers. Sellers think buyers are going to be out shopping in the springtime, so they put their home on the market. It's like this vicious cycle. Everyone's thinking the other one's going to do that, so they do this. But it doesn't always work out that way. It's kind of like the Black Friday myth. And if you don't believe me, that's fine. You don't have to take my word for this, but go do some research. Black Friday, that shopping period, is not necessarily the best time to get deals on whatever it is that you're trying to buy. There's a lot of documented sources of information that say products, electronics, whatever it is that you're looking to buy can actually be bought cheaper during other times of year than actually on Black Friday. But it's just this myth that continues and continues and continues. So people hang out they leave their Thanksgiving meal in the middle of it to go stand in line to wait for Black Friday sales. Same way that buyers and sellers of real estate think I have to list or I have to buy in the springtime. It's a myth. But remember, many buyers, many sellers have kids in school, and that's what they're trying to time. They don't want to disrupt their children's school year and move them from one school into another school just because of a real estate transaction. And that's another part of that's going on of why people try to sell in the springtime or buy in the springtime, because they're trying to time it with the school year. Second reason why right now, after the school year started, could be a good time to buy is there's motivated sellers. As I talked about in reason number 1, if someone is selling their home right now, there could be a very specific reason why they're doing that. If they have children in school, what's going on that they're willing to take their child out of school during the middle of the year and move across the county, across the state, across the country? They're motivated for whatever reasons they're motivated for. They have their own reasons. But if a home is on the market right now for sale, there's a good chance that that seller is motivated. Third reason why the best time to buy a home could be just after the school year started is the home values are more likely to be in actual market value range. Here's what I mean by that. First, see reason number 2 again, motivated seller. Part B of this third reason is if someone listed their home in the spring or summertime and it has not sold yet and it's still on the market, there's a very good chance that it was priced too high or there was something wrong with the market condition at that time. And if their motivation is still high, if they still truly do want to sell the home and it's on the market, they've probably reduced the price now, which puts it more in line with what the actual market value is. So maybe the price started off a little bit too high in the spring or summer, and now they've reduced that price. Typically, what I see from my experience is the price reduction is somewhere between 3%, 5%, sometimes all the way up to 10% of the original list value. And that's what kind of brings it back into line with the market. So a little bit tied to reason number 2, the seller's motivated. If it's still on the market, the price is most likely going to be reduced. So as you're searching for homes out there, and our website, persingergroup.com, is a great place to search for homes, but we can set you up on new listing alerts, but something that you might not be able to see is the homes that have been reduced from their original time on the market. So if you want to get a list of those homes, if you're just starting to look for homes right now, maybe you don't know which homes have had a price reduction and you'd like to know that, contact us. Send me an email, Darin@persingergroup.com, and we'll be happy to put a list together for you of homes that have had a price reduction, and we'll also set you up with a listing alert of new homes that are coming on the market right now. So let's quickly recap the 3 reasons why right now could be the best time to buy a home just after the school year started. Number 1, get out of the idea that stop buying into the myth that the springtime and or summertime is the best time to list or sell. Any time of year is a good time to list or sell depending on your own motivation and your own reasons. Number 2, there's a good chance that sellers could be more motivated right now than they actually are during the springtime. And number 3, homes are more likely to be at market value this time of year than at other times of the year because their motivation of the seller is high, or they've already tried to sell earlier in the year and it's been rejected by the market, so there's some price reductions happening. So 3 reasons why right now could be the best time for you to buy, if now's a good time for you to buy. If you're ready to buy, don't postpone it. Don't delay it any longer. Don't wait until the beginning of the year to start looking, and don't wait till springtime to start looking. If you're ready right now, let's get together and talk about how we can help you become a homeowner. Because as I always like to remind people that watch and listen to the Inside Real Estate Show, home is what you make it. Make it someplace you love.
This is the Inside Real Estate Show, where we give you the insight behind the information so you can make smart home buying, home selling, and real estate investing decisions.